can put it here on the wheelchair for those that want to water it. And then this piece they haven't started yet, so I'll do next year. The other thing that, that I have the little cardboard piece for, but I don't have their prototype, because I have to move classrooms and they packed it up before I got to them, is they wanted to, let's see, it fell off of my card. They have a blender and they make smoothies for teachers, but the kids have two issues. The buttons on the blender they can't operate because they don't have the dexterity in their fingers. So they have this really big button and they wanted that wired into the blender so they can press the button and that will turn it on and off. And that was problem one. And problem two, where this industrial blender sits, the top of it's too high for the kids that are in wheelchairs. And so they asked them to make a conveyor belt to dump it in. And so this was their little prototype of their conveyor belt. And so it actually, I don't know, they did it better than me.
Of course.
But this moved up and then it would roll over and dump. And this piece here, they actually used leftover robot parts, and they actually got the conveyor part and the cut part. So this one actually just needs programming, and it'll be ready to go pretty early on next year because they needed a Arduino board, and we fundraised for that, and so we got it at the end, but they didn't have a chance to program it yet. And so that was how I started out, because it was close. It was at school, and it wasn't as daunting to me as going out into the community. And then the other one was the severely handicapped kids do an outing on Thursdays to go bowling. But you know those little things that they have where the little kids put the bowling balls on and they roll off? They're not wheelchair accessible. They said they were assuming that there was something in the marketplace that they could buy, but they didn't have the money to buy it. So they asked us to make an attachment that attaches to the top and then comes up higher so they can put the ball and then push it. Because they could, she said that if the ball's here, they have the strength to push it, but they don't have the ability to lean over where the ball was down here and push it. That one, they also have a prototype. That was the one I'm the most scared of. So I'm going to make them do a lot of testing on that one because I have this fear of the thing collapsing and the bowling ball landing in their lap. But they actually have the bowling ball, whatever that ramp thing is called at the school, so we can actually like test the attachment to it. And then they've measured, because one thing they didn't think of initially is that not all wheelchairs are the same. So some kids, their wheelchairs are wider, some are taller, so they had to come up with one that was adjustable. And their other requirement was that it had to be easily moved from the school to the bowling alley. So if this is one big, huge piece, if it doesn't fit through the door of the school bus, who don't have doors, then it doesn't do them any good. And they don't want to take that structure. They want to use the bowling alley structure. So they want to just take the piece that attaches to it. And then they were actually thinking once they get that in work, that they may actually make some more and go donate them to local bowling alleys. So that, you know, if someone comes in a wheelchair, then they have an attachment there that they can use. And then the other one, which I thought was kind of interesting, was she said that the kids like, when they get really agitated, that paper shredding brings them comfort, whether it's like the sound or the vibration of the machine, but they all want to paper shred, but they don't have the ability with their hands to get the paper in without jamming it. And so she asked them to come up with a system where they can put the paper in on the top and then like 3D print a slide mechanism to help the paper go into the hole. And so I think that even though none of them got finished, some are, the paper shredder is probably the one that's the farthest from the end, but the other three are relatively close, so I'm hoping that we'll have them done in the first quarter of the next year. But they actually got to see a little bit of the reaction from the kids, the fact that they were just in there talking to them. They saw their faces light up, and then they actually got really excited about working on the project. And I said in a lot of cases they were more excited about doing this than what they were the actual robot that they just competed with.